Small introduction. Filmed on an iPod Touch 6th generation, audio from an iPod Touch 6th generation, and there will be one slow-mo video that's about to play right now, and then there's going to be another slow-mo video after the review that will play at the end, just to give you an idea of the rear-facing camera. Thank you for watching again. iPod Touch 6th generation long-term review, and I'm filming this with an iPod Touch using the front-facing camera to give you a little bit of an idea of the quality, and it's in 720p, I believe, so if you want to see it in full quality, because I believe it only goes to 720p. Alright, so I picked up the newest iPod Touch in 2015 after a short time on Android. It was not a good time. Paired that with an iPhone 5C, and it was a killer combo for a while. 5C is still pretty fast today, and the new iPod gave me 64-bit processor, metal graphics API, slow motion camera, and basically any feature my iPhone 5C didn't have, minus Touch ID. Long story short, wine and a hot tub murdered my iPhone 5C while I was on vacation. It was depressing. Heartbreaking though, because I was still honeymooning with iOS, because it's been a long time since I could call an iPhone my daily driver. But I used my iPod Touch as my main computing device for the rest of my vacation, handling all social media apps, web browsing, gaming, photos, video, and content consumption with absolute prowess. And honestly, didn't resonate with me till it was my main iOS device, which I can assume most people won't be in that position, but it's still good to know. Because, when you're used to using an iPhone or a specific device to do everything that you do in the digital age, it's kind of strange when you're taken out of that abruptly, and the iPod Touch 6th generation definitely stepped up to the plate while my iPhone 5C was dead. And, from that vacation using my iPod as my main device, I can say what I like and don't like. First, it's what I like. So cameras. Front-facing camera is pretty alright. I think it's very passable. In my second video filmed with it. So for being a $200 device, it shoots very vibrant 1080p video, super crisp, and I'd say comparable to an iPhone 5S, both being 8 megapixel. I know the aperture is slightly different, but with the A8's image processing unit, or whatever the hell it's called, it's slightly more advanced than the iPhone 5S's A7, so combined with the iPhone 5C or 5 camera, but with the A8 image signal processing, it provides very, very similar quality to the iPhone 5S with its 2.2 aperture camera. But slow motion was also a super fun bonus. It is only 120 frames per second at 720p, but I can't complain. Still shots impress me also, compared to my iPhone 6 Plus, but more on that later, and that's what I'm reading this off of. The shots look clear with minimal noise in most cases. As for the front-facing camera, it is a 1.2 megapixel shooter from the iPhone 6, which is looks incredible for a selfie camera. My social media remained on point with deceased cell phone. And so yeah, my main comparisons that I will draw are between the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPod Touch 6th generation, which it compares quite well, considering that you buy one of these for I think $550, maybe more. Or no, I think it's $650 brand new off contract from Apple, and this is only $200. It's a good deal. But so performance, this is hands down my favorite thing about this device. You simply can't choke it up. I know that 1 gigabyte of RAM in 2016 is shocking, but iOS handles that amount of RAM so easily that when I test the RAM usage at any given moment, it was only using about half of that single gig of RAM. And I can link the apps down below if you'd like, because if you're curious on monitoring your RAM usage. But that 1 gigabyte of RAM paired with the Apple A8 dual-core beast on this smaller display is just blazing. Even being slightly underclocked compared to my 6 Plus, it still feels snappier and more along the lines of my cousin's iPhone 6S I've used versus my 6 Plus. And if you step to an Apple store, you pick up a 6S, and you notice that snappiness. It seems like a brand new phone. Not to say that my iPhone 6 Plus is slow at all, because it's a fast phone and I love it to death. But the snappiness on this device, the iPod Touch 6th generation, seems a little bit more in line with the snappiness of an iPhone 6S. And this is kind of like performance, but gaming. The PowerVR 6450 quad-core GPU combined with an 1136 by 640 resolution means this thing can play any iOS game you throw at it with ultimate ease. And Metal improves upon the iOS gaming experience by bringing truly console-class graphics to a mobile device. As you can see, some of these games look better than an Xbox 360 or PS3 title, so if you're getting into gaming, I recommend this. And that is true. I do highly recommend this for gaming. Check out Afterpulse, Assassin's Creed Identity, or Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. All of those utilize the hardware in this device insanely well. Now, multimedia. This was what, an iPod was created for, which is music. And it is created to be the master of. And that is no different here. I know I could easily put all of my music on my phone. And but that would easily take up the space that's already pretty slim on my iPhone 6 Plus, which is a 16 gigabyte. And so every day I use my iPod to listen to music, and it really does an incredible job. Same with consuming video, but that leads to my first major complaint, which would be the display. Colors are good. The viewing angles are good. Basically, things are good. But when you get used to the 1920 by 1080 display on an iPhone 6 Plus, it's a little easier to pick out the pixels where you normally wouldn't have. While gaming, you see some aliasing, and just here and there you notice what separates this 4-year-old panel from one you'd see on a flagship today. Like, I played Lara Croft Go on my iPod Touch a lot, and you can see the jagged lines in that. And that's unfortunate, but it's not a bad display. Colors are good. It's just not as good as you might expect from a 2016 device, but I got this device in late 2015. My second complaint would basically be battery life. Not because it's bad, but like I said, certain 6 Plus features have spoiled me, so on the days that my phone comes home with around 90%, because I didn't use it that much, my iPod will be completely dead. And whether it be because it's distracting, I pull out the device, want to play a game, or it's the form factor, because when I'm at work, I work at a shop, and being around those vehicles and stuff, I don't want to pull out my big phone all the time and maybe drop it or whatever, so maybe I need to use this more, and sometimes there's days that I do that. But the days that I do, I don't think you're supposed to use them the same way, but the days that I do that, I do tend to use my iPod the same way I'd use my phone, which is messaging, social media, things like that. And, but I definitely figured out my best case, use, and I love the combo that I'm rolling around with. So it's the iPod Touch 6th generation and the iPhone 6 Plus, because I keep all my games and my music on the iPod, and I keep all my photos and videos and stuff on here because I like to take photos and videos with my phone. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's so fun. Or slow motion, all of that, which you can do on here. But all in all, I can recommend this device to anyone who wants a small personal computer, media device, MP3 player, handheld game console, camera, social media device, or you don't have a smartphone, or you are like me and like to carry 2 devices. 10 out of 10 long-term review. This device is, with its 2nd gen 64-bit desktop class architecture, will last years to come. I mean, I know people who rock an iPod Touch 1st generation because they only play music on their device. And so if that's why you buy this, or whatever reason you may have, this will last you years to come. Years, with literally no reason to upgrade anytime soon. And I doubt there will be another one anytime soon, just because of how long it took us to get this one. But, yeah, 10 out of 10. If you are in the market for any of those things I listed, I'd seriously consider checking out the iPod Touch 6th generation. Thank you for watching. Last clip, I promise. So if you liked what you just saw, you liked the way it was written, you liked the way that it was spoken to you, then check out my other video about YouTube, Where Are You Going? And if you like that as well, subscribe for the slight chance that I might make more content. But I mean, 2 videos in 2 days seems to be looking good. But thank you for watching. And have a phenomenal day. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Bye-bye.